Thank you, Mark. Yes, we are. Some very special animals with some horrific stories this morning. And like we've been saying it to Gina, and we've been talking about it and telling you at home about the horrible plight of some dogs and cats and animals over the years. But Gina, it just gets worse. When we before the break, we tell the story of Lassie, the beautiful dog, and then we see the story here this morning.
We do indeed, Alan. This dog is actually a Lassie Collie, which is, as you know, a very expensive dog to buy. She was found in an industrial estate in Dublin about 3 days ago. The vet said that she couldn't even be a stray, that it had to be induced starvation because a stray would get some food somewhere. And the condition of this dog, she's absolutely skin and bone. Even her hip bones are sticking out, as you can see. Now, we've a fair idea where she originated from, but we can't say, obviously. But, I mean, the condition of some of the animals that we picked up lately are absolutely horrendous, particularly greyhounds and lurchers.
It just carries on.
It goes on and on and on, and, I mean, people just don't seem to care. I mean, it's...
Like, people are animals themselves to treat a dog like that.
Exactly. I mean, this little thing, and she's so friendly. She's very affectionate, and her bark is gone from barking. She's got a hoarse bark from barking. Where obviously she was tied up somewhere and not fed, and she just barked and barked, and she escaped at some stage, and she ended up in this industrial estate, and a girl rang us that was working in the industrial estate, and we managed to get her.
And I have to say that a lovely temperament this morning, and the thing is, she will get better. The coat will grow back. She'll be a lovely, fine dog, and will make somebody a lovely pet.
She will indeed, and she had to have a blood transfusion in our vets because she was so anemic, because of the starvation. Her liver had started to eat itself, and she had anemia, and she's got through that. She's starting to eat. She's obsessed with food, as you can imagine. Every time we carry a tin or a dish or anything, she's jumping up on us. Is this for me? Is this for me? And you have to be so careful not to overfeed them.
Okay, and we have another one here with her.
The other guy beside her has improved immensely in the last few days since we got him. He was found in Tala in County Dublin. He was skin and bone. He has a broken foot. He has to have his toe amputated today. He was terrified. He was sitting in a corner. We call him Sitting Bull. It took us a little while to catch him. We found him in Tala on the bypass. But he's coming on day by day. Again, he's a lurcher. He's a half greyhound. It happens a lot. But he will come back too, and he'll be a lovely pet. It's just once you get the fear out of them and the fear of people.
And tell me, Gina, when they've been treated like this, do they need that extra bit of love and care with a new home and a new owner?
They do indeed. They need to be nurtured, and they need to be told, this is okay, you're not going to get beaten here, you're going to get fed, you're going to get your 3 meals a day or whatever.
And finally, we have one here who's very, very shy.
This is White Cloud, we call this guy. He was living in Salins in the Sherlockstown area since last September, and we've been feeding him every day, and we managed to corner him in a man's garden there about 10 days ago. He was totally pink with mange, so as you can see the improvement in him already. His hair is growing back with a little bit of treatment. No big deal. I mean, his original owners could have done that for him, but instead he was strayed, and he was terrified of people. He still is, as you can see, any movement, and he's glued to my leg there because he's absolutely terrified. But all these dogs will come around with loving care, but we need people like us out there to do it. And
it's absolutely horrendous, and if it wasn't for people like you, these dogs would obviously have died. And this morning we are putting out a plea to people. These are lovely dogs, and they will get better, and they are looking for a loving home. So you've seen the numbers coming up for Paws and your telephone number and your website. Do get in touch with Gina, because these dogs really do need some care, love and attention. They
do indeed, and we need some support at the moment. We need some government intervention, and we need it fast.
And any donations, of course, greatly accepted by yourselves also. It's a horrendous story, keeps going on, but that's why we do this on this programme every week, to highlight the plight of animals like this. And thank you very much for joining us this morning. Back into studio.
I can't believe it.
Give us a shout, because I'm sure he's anxious to get home also.
He is indeed.
Paws joins us with some furry animals. Good morning to you, who are looking for a home. Good morning, Gina.
Good morning, Alan. How are you?
So who have you got for us this morning?
Well, this morning, first of all, we have a little lad who was actually in the Phoenix Park last night to welcome home the team. His name is Ole for the moment, and he was actually jumped up on the lap of a little girl who was in a wheelchair. And she couldn't leave him there with all those people in the park, so she brought him home with her.
So basically, this dog went to the Phoenix Park last night with an owner and left without him. So if his owner is looking in this morning, We have Olay. Isn't he beautiful?
Yes, he's lovely. He's
Well looked after and stuff. So it's obviously a good home, and somebody's probably missing him terribly this morning.
I'm sure somebody was scouring the Phoenix Park today looking for him. He's a gorgeous little dog. He's just needs a medal and a collar, or else, and he'd be home with his owners. But he was there to welcome home Mick and the team last night. So if they're out there, would they please give us a ring?
Give us a shout, because I'm sure he's anxious to get home also.
He is indeed. And the dogs we have for looking for homes today, we've got some gorgeous dogs for you. The first one is Tigger, who's a Pom, or 99.9% Pom. He's a gorgeous little lad. He's perfect for anybody. You know, he's a lap dog. He just wants to sit around and play. And, you know, he needs his exercise, though, because he is active enough. But being a Pom, he'd suit into any home. Preferably child-free with a Pom, but anybody that's looking for something to just potter around with and sit on their lap, he's perfect for.
Lovely little thing, isn't he?
He's gorgeous.
And beside him?
Beside him we have Ellie. Now Ellie's owners actually moved house and left her behind in the garden, and a neighbour was feeding her for a couple of days, and then he brought her to us. When she came to us, she was extremely pregnant. And she was very unhappy, of course, missing her owners, but we sorted it out anyway, and she's now spayed and she's ready to go. And again, she's a Yorkie type, very, very gentle, very
lovely little dog.
She is. She's gorgeous. Two beautiful dogs there.
And you have two little kittens also.
I have indeed. These are two 8-week-old female kittens. They're perfectly house trained. They're dog trained. They play with Labradors. The man that had them hand reared them, so they're beautiful pets. We would like to keep them together, so if anybody out there would like to take on two little kittens.
And finally, a dog that needs a good bit of looking after.
This lad was found, Dr. Dre is his name. He was found in Stillorgan 2 months ago. The people that found him kept him for a month, but they'd small children and they couldn't handle him. They passed him on to another lady, but it was an elderly couple, and again they couldn't handle him. So I'm afraid he's a handful, but he's great fun. He's
great bouncing dog, been jumping around there, so a handful, but a lovely pet.
He is about 8 months old. Now he needs a few sessions with a trainer and he'd be perfect.
Okay, now we've put your number and website and everything up on the screen if people want to contact you. You had a walk 2 weeks ago. It was a great success for you?
Great success. I'd like to thank everybody that has supported us. We raised €6,500 and we badly needed it, and we're going to do it again soon.
Great stuff. Well, we'll keep in touch with you about that. Thank you, Gina, for coming in this morning. Back in studio.